I'm excited to be here with you today for a special training. Today, we are diving into why using High Level plus GroupTrack CRM is the best solution out there. It's why I launched Nerdly, which is our version of High Level, where we build GroupTrack right on into it, because they're amazing tools in their own right. And when you combine them together, the possibilities are pretty endless. So if you're watching this, let me know in the comments if you're watching live or the replay. And I want to know, are you already using High Level? Are you on someone's white label? And are you an agency owner? And are you already using GroupTrack? This way, I kind of know who we're working with today, and I get to kind of know the audience. Also, because today is an extra special day, it is also GroupTrack's 3rd birthday. Happy birthday, GroupTrack. So if you guys love GroupTrack, let me know in the comments. Tell Nate and Jenna how much you love this amazing creation they've built together. I'll put the mic to the side because my mic's not working, because we love it when tech doesn't work for us sometimes. So, GroupTrack and High Level. So for those of you who don't know, High Level is an amazing all-in-one marketing machine that also allows you to white label, which means they build it and then you can customize it and tweak it and create your own version that's specific for your niche. Mine is built for coaches, course creators, and SaaS companies. So that's what we focus on. And GroupTrack, for those of you who do not know, is online businesses. Like we're the nerds who we can really build for anything. So GroupTrack, for those of you who do not know, is the #1 social CRM out there. It lives right on top of Facebook and Instagram, and allows you to track your contacts and systematically have real conversations with them, so that you know where you are in your conversation, you know what their needs are. You are actually able to have a real conversation and not be that salesy weirdo who has no idea who you're talking to. Because show of hands, who here has gotten that DM? Oh my gosh, Colleen, I love to see what you're doing with that business. You will be a perfect fit for this program. Let's get into a sales call about that right now. And I'm like, what business are you talking about? And where did you find out about me? And I've never seen you interact with any of my content before. So how would I know that you know anything about me? And it's clearly one of those bulk, like, you know, we all use bulk messaging, right? But it's one of those, it's not targeted, it's not curated. They didn't take the time to develop any sort of a relationship with me. And that just doesn't feel good to anybody involved, right? So with GroupTrack, you're able to take it through message templates so that you can take them through a systematic process, as well as having tags. And as you ask them questions, you can have those notes on their profile that's available right on Facebook. All right, so we got a little basics on those. So what are the pain points that you can experience with a platform like High Level? So one of the cool things that High Level does is that it allows you to have a unified conversation window. So like your text, email, Facebook business page, Instagram business page, Google My Business. That's really great. And you can have all sorts of chatbots and automations and sequences. The problem with that is that with the way that Meta, the owner of Facebook and Instagram, works, is that there is a maximum time of 24 hours from when a contact reaches out to you that you can reach out to them. With GroupTrack, you're able to in bulk message them from your personal profile. So that makes it a lot easier. So let me show you a little bit about what I am talking about. So I'm going to walk you through some of the things that we do. You ready? Let's do this. All right. So I actually have my group track built right into my high level. So all my users, they have their one home base that everything is in one place for them, which is pretty awesome. So they can come in here in group track while they're inside of their high level instance, never going anywhere else, which makes it a lot easier for your users, right? Show of hands, agency owners, who would rather their clients be spending time inside of their actual high level instance, right? The more they're in your actual agency instance doing stuff, taking actions, then the more likely they are to retain, and the more likely they are to find success and then refer people, which is really what we all want. So right from within here, we can actually come in and see, all right, right now we're looking at all pipelines. Oh, you gotta love screen sharing. Gotta love doing things live. Let me do a quick refresh. And actually, it might be angry at me because it's in the same window. So let's try this. All right. See if this is better. All right, there we go. All right, so we're gonna open group track. Oh, my internet is just having a struggle today. Okay, so when my internet is actually doing what it's supposed to, it works a lot nicer. Let me close out a couple of other things I've got going on to see if that helps. All right. Nope. Oh, I clicked on opportunities. So as you can see, I can actually have the opportunities window open on both sides at the same time. And that is one of the great things about group track and high level is that they will match based on tags and stages. So as you move someone from stage to stage in high level, it'll match on group track. And the same for when you're doing that in group track. As you move people in group track, they will mirror that in high level. I'll actually do some quick videos and put them into the group so that you guys have a little bit of a better view. So let's minimize this. So let's see here. So we've got Louise, and if we move Louise 1 over, oh, high level. There we go. So as you can see, I just moved Louise into re-engagement. And so then I come over here and we look for Louise. Might take a minute because it just fired off a webhook into group track. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing because obviously that is giving its own issues. So when you change a stage in group track or high level, it's going to mirror it back and forth. Why does that matter? Why is that important? That's important because how many of you guys have closers or setters, or are you talking to them in Facebook and you want to know, did they opt into a lead magnet at some point? What lead magnet did they request? And what information have they requested from me? Like, what has that relationship been? What customer journey have they been on so far? And this way you're able to have a really, really clear conversation with them, because those tags that are applied in high level, because they opted into a lead magnet, they're processing in through your membership program, right? So let me know in the comments, how many of you guys have a course? Would it make a difference to you when you're in the DMs with them if you knew where they were in your course, what exactly they have done with you? Because That makes it so much easier for you to really love on your clients and your audience and show up and serve them, because you have all of these data points about them. You know exactly what's going on. Because I don't know about you, I'm a neurospicy brain over here, so I'm not going to remember all of that. There's absolutely no way that I'm going to remember every detail about every client at all times, right? Awesome. I love that you have a course. Now, would it help you if when you're in the DMs, you know what's going on in their course? Like, you know where they have gotten in the course, what they've done, what they haven't done, so that when you're talking to them, you can be like, oh, hey, I see that you started module 2, but you haven't actually finished it. Did you have any questions about that? Right? So you can create an automation in High Level saying, when they started this module, add this tag, right? Or move into this stage. That will reflect in GroupTrack. So when you're in the DMs with someone, you can see what stage they're in and what tags they have, right? Because let's be real, everybody lives on social media. When you're in the DMs, that's just how people communicate. And it allows you also, because say you have 50 people, clients in your program, right? Wouldn't it be a lot easier if you could use a filter on, say, they're in my program, they've completed 1, but they haven't gotten to 2. And then you could send a bulk message to all of those that have completed section 1, but haven't gone to section 2. And this way you can have that one message and it goes out to all of them. So they feel this one-on-one connection with you, and you're able to do it with ease. You could set up that bulk message to message all of your clients and then go to bed. You can go outside and walk your dog. You can go do some yoga, right? It's about being able to show up in the most human ways possible by leveraging automation. So I like to call it organic automations. And if you guys are commenting, make sure to click on the Facebook link in the description so I can see who's commenting, because I love connecting with you while we're here, right? So this is allowing you to do bulk DMs from your personal profile, because it is a very big difference on when you're messaging someone from your business page, from your personal profile. If you're messaging from your personal profile, they know it's you. And I know there's some folks who have VAs go into their personal profile, which is, by the way, a no-no. Meta does not like that, right? And we want to make sure that we don't do that. There's also a lot of things to be aware of. Since we're talking about bulk message, I will do a quick walkthrough on some of the settings here, because I know a lot of people have asked, well, how do you use bulk messaging without getting sent to Facebook jail, right? I mean, there is a joke about, are you really a social seller if you've never been to Facebook jail? And not everybody is a social seller. And even if you are, you don't always have to be at a point where you're getting put in Facebook jail. So this is, here we go. All right, so this is your bulk messaging settings. And this is something you want to be aware of. So I'm using the queued messaging, right? So I actually have 159 messages queued up to go. And so those are going to go out when I have them on my time frames. So we want to have some delays between the messages, right? So you have a lot of different options here. I'm really conservative with mine because I know that I send out a lot of messages all day, every day, right? So I give it a little bit more time, because this way it allows me to also respond to the messages and it looks a little bit more human. You can also take a break. And if you're not sure, err on the side of caution. Have a little bit more time in your break, right? And you can have a break every 1 to 2 hours, every 3 to 5. It really depends. If you're not sure, err on the side of caution. Do a break every 1 to 2 hours, right? And right now I'm at 100 messages per day. I could probably push it to 150, 175, but I like to stay well within my limits, because I also know if 100 people reply to me, that's a lot of the messaging that I got to connect with them about, right? So it's not just about getting that initial message out. That initial message sees who's open to having a conversation right now, right? It's not just, oh, I'm going to DM you my lead magnet and you're going to take it. No, we want to have a conversation. Make sure that the lead magnet they requested is actually for them. And then pausing after failed messages. This is a really important factor because if, say, their Facebook URL changed or they're not really active on Facebook anymore, right? You need to make sure that you don't have more than 2 failed messages, because if you start sending messages, all right, we all know how crazy Twilio is, right? If you're trying to send, especially in the high level world, we have been through the ringer with Twilio and those SMS regulations and the telco changes and that 10 A2P 10 DLC nonsense, right? So think of it the same way. Just like sending out text messages in bulk, we need to be mindful on how we're sending DMs in bulk, right? Because these are real people and we're having real conversations. And that's important to remember. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to send this message out to 500 people and somebody will respond. That's pretty crappy, right? We want to, these are your prospects, your contacts, your clients. These are real people you're talking to. They're not just names and numbers. They're people. So let's look at it that way, right? And then when do you want to send the messages? Now, me personally, I send messages 24 hours a day. I have clients in Australia, in New Zealand, in California, in Europe, all over the US, in South America. So to me, the time I send it doesn't really matter, because I have people, somebody somewhere's gonna be like, oh, she sent the message in the middle of the night. Even if I'm sending all my messages from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. my time, well, that's the middle of the night and somewhere in the world. So to me, it's more about making sure that you're sending out the maximum number of messages you can while giving yourself a lot of time, right? So I do 1 to 2 minutes between each message. I take a break every 15 to 20 minute break every 1 to 2 hours. And I do about 100 messages a day, and I break after 2 messages, right? I'd rather have a bigger number here and it take longer to send the messages out than to try to blast out like message every 30 seconds. Okay, so we got a good question. How do you deal with hundreds and thousands coming into your group at once? I need that strategy. We got you. So the way that works is when you're working with a group. We actually just had a team meeting earlier today to talk about how we're dividing and conquering this, right? Because a single person is not going to be able to handle hundreds and thousands of people coming in, right? So with GroupTrack, this actually is going to be a 2-part thing that I'm going to show you guys. So with GroupTrack, you can have a team, right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. 7 people are messaging folks, right? So if you're worried about 100 people, well, 100 people divided by 7 is now 14 people, 14.2 people, right? So let's take it 1,000 people divided by 7. Now you're looking at 142. You can get through 1,000 people in a day and a half, right? So it's about being smart about it. And I will tell you, just as one of the things Jen and I have both agreed upon, is that one of the number one things you can do for your business to grow it is to have team members, because you are a singular human being, right? And we don't want to just throw names and contacts through a machine and hope for the best. We want to develop real relationships. So one of the great things that we have in this community is we have trained VAs called BAMs. If you want to know more about them, they're called business account managers. Comment BAM and we'll follow up with more information. So again, if you want to learn more about BAMs, comment BAM and we will follow up with you about that. And that's Heather over at My Virtual Organized Business. They're fully trained. They know how to use GroupTrack, and they'll be great additions to your team. They can be extremely helpful. Yes, you need a team. Absolutely. And here's the thing. When I first heard Jenna talking about this, I was like, oh my gosh, like, how could I possibly afford a team? Question is, how can you afford to not have a team? So you got to look at those metrics, right? what is it going to take for you to make more money in your business? If there were 2 or 3 of you, would you make more money? If you were able to have more conversations per day, the more conversations build trust. Trust builds sales. More sales, more money, right? So you want to make sure that you have people who know how to have these kind of conversations. So the next thing about this is, and I've got some really fun graphics. I don't know if you guys saw my post earlier today. You can use, let me see if I can share this. All right, message templates, right? So the great thing about GroupTrack is you can create message templates. So let me share this screen over here, and I'll show you guys some message templates. So, and this is going to dovetail into my next bit about using your m.me link. Your m.me link is absolutely necessary. If you are a high leveler and you're using social and you don't know what your m.me link is, you're going to learn right now. If you know what your m.me link is, comment it and let us know. And go say hi to somebody's business. See what they do. Drop your m.me link and let us know what you do in the comments, because you never know who's going to see it and maybe they need your product or services too. So we're going to come over here to messages. All right. Sometimes you got to click refresh. I mean, it's 2023, right? If you haven't clicked refresh, are you really using software? All right. So now we're loading into message templates. And so when I welcome someone to my client group, not only we have what's called a Nerdly Nerd Herd concierge. So we have someone that's dedicated to be their go-to person. And I also want to personally welcome everybody who comes into my group, because I know part of why they came into my group is because of me. Let me stop sharing for a minute. Refresh. You gotta love live demonstrations. It's always fun. There's always something happening, right? So, and if you need to know how to do the GroupTrack high-level integration, comment integrate, and we'll get you the walkthrough on that. I've done a ton of those. They're on my YouTube channel. They're in the GroupTrack group. They're in the Making Tech Simple group, and we got you covered. That's just not what we're going to cover today. And if you're an agency owner and you and your sub accounts use GroupTrack, you really want to look at the custom values, because what I did is I added a custom value for the webhook, and then I locked down the workflows, because a lot of times what people end up doing is a user will go in and they'll touch the workflow, they'll adjust it thinking that they're doing the right thing, but a lot of times they end up breaking it. So I locked down that workflow so they can't break it. All right, so here we go. Screen, GroupTrack. All right, so we go. Colleen, welcome message. So my welcome message here is, hi Colleen, I'm the Nerdly Nerd. I started this platform to help entrepreneurs like you learn how to better manage their tech so they can focus on growing their business. So glad you have joined us in our community. So I include my m.me link. And if you don't know what that is, it's just m.me, https://m.me/your business page name, right? So when this is put in a browser, let me switch over to a different screen. And I tell them to message me #help. So when they message me #help, I have an automation inside of High Level that will alert us that someone has requested help and to go to the conversation window, because we're not always sitting in front of the conversations window. And We may not always see it, but we get our text messages really quickly. So here, once this loads, loading. All right. So if they write #help, watch what happens. All right. I have an automation in High Level that will, when someone replies with the keyword #help, they get a reply back from High Level saying, "We've alerted the nerd herd that you need help. In the meantime, I'm NerdBot. Message me #menu, and I'll see what I can help you with until they arrive." So it's about being that immediately to the lead, right? The fastest you are to be able to help them, to be able to communicate with them. And that's going to be able to really increase your ROI or increase your bottom line. So the great thing about that is that means that everybody that's in your High Level agency that has access to that contact can see it. And so Lisa, I actually locked down all of the GroupTrack workflows. Anyone that's on my agency, they cannot touch the GroupTrack integration workflows because there's just too many variables. I don't want them to risk it because once it's there, it's too important for me to risk allowing them to break it some way. Yeah, Annette, you're right. The internet is just rough today. All right, so we went over integrating it into your system so that it's all within one house, so the client feels like it is part of your system. We went over bulk DMs to your prospects and clients from your personal profile, being able to actually have real conversations with them and be based on tags and stage changes that happen automatically via High Level, right? Because High Level has all those automations, and then you can see that while you're right in the DMs. We talked about using message templates, right? Just like my welcome message, so that you can streamline what is sent to your prospects. And so this is a new feature that you may not know exists right now. All right, so we're going to come here. And let's refresh our screen. Wow, my internet is just like molasses today. Y'all, that is something special. Okay, so I'm going to go into my messenger. Well, when my internet works, you would see, okay, here we go. And Lisa, I'm going to pull you up. So what's really cool is I can come over here, have my GroupTrack pop out. Lisa, since you're on here, I'm going to use you as an example. So I see Lisa Allen. I want to send her a message real quick. Right? So I'm going to click on the messenger icon, and it's going to open up a message with Lisa. Eventually, it's going to open up. So what's really cool about this is that now when I have this message open with her, I'm going to be able to see all the things that have gone on. I'm going to have her email, her phone number, the tags, stage changes, right? So look, I've got Lisa here. I'm going to cover your email real quick so no one gets that. I can see the conversations that's happened. I can see what stage she's in. So like, this is my primary here. So Lisa is in my re-engagement. So that means, and you can see here, I have a queued message. So Lisa, I'll be messaging you soon. Actually, I think this must have been one. Oh, you had requested a resource. So this is from 11/22. Right. So this is when we were talking about Apple and Mac stuff. So there we go. So this one is coming soon. So you had raised your hand and asked for deets on the email welcome series template. So this should be coming to you as soon as I can get through my 172 messages, right? So right here, I can see what's going on. And what's really awesome is watch this. So I can take, how am I not live in the GroupTrack group? That doesn't make any sense because I selected GroupTrack as, hold on, I'm going to restart this. I'll be right back.